Hello, and thanks for watching. I'm going to talk about two-factor authentication and why it is essential for your cyber resilience. So firstly, what is two-factor authentication or multi-factor authentication? Two-factor authentication is where you provide two pieces of information to prove who you are. And multi-factor authentication just means that you provide two or more pieces of information. It provides a way to double-check that you really are the person you're claiming to be when you use online services. There are three types of information you could be asked for. Something you know, this is usually your PIN or password. Something you have, this could be a code sent via SMS or from an authenticator app. Finally, something you are, this is biometric data, so fingerprints, retinal scan, or even a voice recording. If you think about it, we use two-factor authentication every time you use a cash point. You have to have possession of your bank card and knowledge of your PIN in order to withdraw money. So why is 2FA required? Passwords are everywhere. The average user has between 60 and 100 passwords, and unfortunately, even with strong passwords, they can only provide so much protection for your accounts. Your passwords could be stolen via a data breach, using malware, or by tricking you into a phishing attack. 2FA prevents access to your accounts using just this information because the criminal doesn't have the second verification factor. The only bit they have is the something you know. So what should you do? Identify and set up two-factor authentication or multi-factor authentication on all of your vital accounts. Now, everybody's list will be different, but consider any account where your payment details are stored as a must. You really don't want a criminal to be able to buy the latest mobile phone using your money. Consider if there are any applications which your business uses, which if a criminal gained access to, could severely impact your business. Now this could be a CRM solution or a customer database. One of the most important accounts to protect is your email, for both personal and business use. This is to protect you from two different scenarios. The first is that when you forget a password, most password resets are sent to your email address. This is because only you should have access to this, but if a criminal does, they could reset any password for any account and lock you out, which could be devastating if that's your business's website or social media account. The second scenario is unfortunately very common, especially for businesses. A criminal gains access to your email account without you knowing using compromised details. They set up a forwarding rule which looks for words like invoice or payment, and if the email contains these words, they get sent a copy of that email. They can either delete the email from your inbox so you never know about it, or just monitor your email for a while. They can then use this information to either pretend to be you and scam your customer, or pretend to be your customer and scam you. Either way, it's not good. This is commonly known as business email compromise and costs UK businesses millions of pounds each year, but could be prevented by two-factor authentication being enabled. One of the other items on the important account list was that of the domain controller or administration account. A domain controller is the term used for the server which looks after your users and their permissions on a system. It authenticates and validates user access on a network. Now, most people shouldn't have full permissions to do anything they want to within the network, but criminals want those full permissions so they can install malware or other programs. Having your administrator accounts use two-factor authentication makes it harder for criminals to gain those full privileges. If you want some more information about users and permissions, watch our other videos. In summary, hopefully you now know what two-factor authentication and multi-factor authentication is and why it's so important. Ensure you identify those key accounts and enable 2FA on them using an authenticator app or physical token for the best protection. And if you would like more help or guidance, the Eastern Cyber Resilience Centre is here to help. The ECRC is a not-for-profit company led by policing to help businesses become more cyber resilient. So why don't you join our membership for free and speak to us about how we can help you?